Hey, Tom Rabbit! I hope you got this for your recording. Hey, YouTube out there. Tom Rabbit likes to record these. Hey, Tom Rabbit!
Nature.
You're
Now,
putting
if
out a
you
law,
disagree
man.
with that, yeah, so if you do that, then you're going to have to tell us what the standard of good is.
What? I don't believe in God. I don't care what you think your God believes in or
Okay,
wills.
well then good for you is meaningless. It's utterly
Well,
Good
meaningless.
for you is bad for somebody else in a different nation or
yeah,
a
yeah,
different
sure.
land.
I think it's. I
I
think
Bad for
didn't
him
hear
is
what
good
you
for
said,
you.
Phantom.
I don't think there's an issue with
Phantom,
me saying
hold
that.
on. Hey,
Yeah.
No.
Teddy,
Wait, let me
Phantom,
finish. I let you
I
finish,
didn't
Darth. Let
hear.
me finish,
Wow,
okay?
can we have a little? I
Yeah,
didn't
I want to
hear
have a
what he said.
conversation, but it seems like
Can
you're
you?
talking.
Yeah, I know, I do.
and
Can
making
you
me talk.
just be like the scumbag males here? I'm asking him to repeat what he said. I didn't
Okay.
I'm
hear.
saying,
Go ahead,
according to our subjective understanding, something good for you is bad for somebody in another nation or a different land, and something bad for
No,
him is
you're
good
not.
for you.
I don't think you're understanding the landscape.
That's exactly what I'm
No,
saying.
Then you have no
that's a
objective
typical
good and bad.
response.
Let me elaborate, Darth. Just let me elaborate for a second. I can look at food and eat it and say, "Wow, this is really tasty," and someone could eat the same food and say, "This is disgusting."
I don't
Because
think
we
you're understanding
recognize
my
that we
point.
have different perceptions of good, right?
No, you're not understanding, okay? In a not God world, and you're taking cap on this because this requires a little bit higher level thinking. In a not God world, nothing that is identifiable and defensible, which imposes, is and cannot be. So that when you make yes, there is nothing identifiable or defensible which ultimately imposes what is and cannot be. In such a world, if you invoke a proposition like the dog wagging its tail or this cheeseburger tastes good, all of these individual states of affairs have no identifiable reason why they exist. Therefore,
when you say
they
why
become.
they exist, you mean as in why they taste good or why they exist?
No, I'm explaining to you in order to understand what I'm saying about why declarations in the not God world are completely meaningless upon examination. Is you have to understand it juxtaposed to the opposite. In the
It
God
seems meaningless
world,
to you because you determine your meaning through God.
can you just listen? Didn't I ask you to put your thing on? This is not something that I can get through to you in just a little soundbite.
Talking a whole lot, and you have
I'm
really
trying to
time
explain something to you. Do you want to give me a minute and maybe you might learn something? Okay. Now, you're not going to be able to properly understand your position without referencing to what it is. Okay. Are you just going to bicker with me like a teenager? I'm trying to explain.
I am a teenager.
Done. You're free to disagree.
Hey, Darth, the problem is this young woman is like she's way too young to even comprehend this. I think
Teddy
she's
Bear, how old
16 years old, and it's just you're talking to a wall.
All right. Okay, well, Teddy Bear, I'm 61 years old. Can you just listen for a moment? You might learn something from somebody who's more than three. Why the fuck are you ever talking to me? You see, this is the problem. You people get on social networks and you completely change. No, I'm perfect. I'm just letting you know that I'm angry with your bad behavior. You see, you don't behave this way in your real life, but you get on the internet and this is how you behave. Okay?
I mean, no, I think I behave similarly.
All right, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you this question. Do you talk to your parents this way?
It depends. When we're debating, yeah, sure.
No. I'm just, look, there's not a debate here. I was attempting to explain something. We hadn't even begun the debate.
I'm here to have a discussion.
Okay. Wow. You know what? She's atheist males are on Discord. You see, you're no wonder you're just so unruly and obnoxious. People who are unruly and obnoxious as a matter of character, we shouldn't be surprised that it's typical that they don't believe in God. because
Absolutely.
they are a law. They are a law unto themselves. You see, the reason why you're behaving this way is because you are a law unto yourself, because you don't think that there's a God in heaven looking down upon you. And you know what? It's a good idea that we should behave ourselves in a way that is pleasing to him. But because you're a law unto yourself, you're just going to be a little snotty little bitch. You used to be your grandfather. You can't even show a little of respect when I'm trying to explain something to you. Even before I get halfway trying to explain something to you, a little higher intelligence level, okay? You just don't want to do that. What you want to do is you want to bicker like we're at the cafeteria table, okay? Why don't you just listen a little bit from somebody who's more than 3 times your age? Maybe you might learn something. And then when I get finished, you're free to ask questions and disagree with me. Is that acceptable to you?
Yeah, sure. Before you went on that tangent, I was saying.
All right, just mute her again.
Tangent.
Go ahead, mute her again.
Mute her.
Yeah, just go ahead, Darth. Just get the point across.
This is precisely a problem. You cannot talk with these people like this.
Okay? And what's
surprising?
Yeah, she's muted. She's muted. Yeah.
Okay, let me just say this. Mm-hmm. This is precisely what we have on these kinds of social networks, and even in political discourse in the West and the States. It is mentalities like this. It's
yeah. No, you're right. You're right, Darth.
5 minutes later.
So here's the question: since you don't believe in God, what is it that any instances of what is can be in anything for everything? What is that? Since it's not God, go ahead, Teddy Bear.
Yeah. So, I think that it's important to first recognize the premise of you saying that me saying I don't know what created the universe or what created the laws.
Can you answer the question, please?
Yeah, I'm just trying to address it.
Can you give me a commentary? Answer the question.
Yeah, I'm trying. Thanks. Anyways, so what I think is problematic about that question is that you think me saying that.
No, you're not addressing the question.
I'm getting to that.
Answer the question and then no. Can you just answer the question and then give me what commentary you want? What is it that singularly dictates? Listen, can you listen? The reason why I'm interrupting here, all you need to do is this: answer the question and then give your running commentary. Okay? What dictates all things?
No, I just want to answer. So if you
answer the question and then give me a commentary.
I will respond and then you can respond to me. Does that sound fair?
No, I want you to answer the question.
I will do that, but you need to stop interrupting me when I'm talking because I'm getting to that question.
I promise you I will stop. No, I don't want you to get to it. I want you to answer the question and commentary.
Oh my god. Okay. So when I say I guess what my initial issue with the question is, the way it's formed, is that
Can you please answer the question first?
Will you please allow her time to speak?
She's not answering the question.
She's getting to it. Allow her time to speak.
No, I don't want her to get to it. I want her to answer the question and then give me a commentary.
You get to go on like a 3-minute discussion,
and then you can too if you answer the question and then speak.
Yeah, you see.
Oh my god!
I ask somebody a question on Discord, they monologue, they never answer the question, and then
is that what you
answer the question and then go on your 5-minute monologue. Do it.
I'm not going to go on a 5-minute monologue.
Question first.
It's going to take less than 30 seconds.
You can have 10 minutes. You can have 15 minutes. Just answer the question first.
All right. Yeah. Sure. So when you ask what is the very fundaments, right? Like what is making things the way they are, correct?
Here, I'll repeat it. What fundamentally and singularly dictates all states of affairs?
Singularly?
Yeah, the one thing.
One thing. Why one thing?
Yeah, singular thing. If it's not one thing, then what you have is a system of chaos where not one thing is controlling everything. So what one thing dictates
Why is it so bad to have a system of chaos? Is it not wrong to say we live in a world that is considered chaotic?
Is it your position that there's not one thing that controls all events? That we're in a world where there are multiple.
Think there's one thing that controls all events. That would be me believing in a god or some kind of being.
No. What? Okay, since you don't believe in God as that which dictates all states of affairs according to His plan, a concrete thing that dictates everything.
What dictates everything? I think there is no one thing that dictates everything. I don't think that there is one thing.
Okay, so your answer is identifiable.
You said you let me go and
I'm just clarifying your answer. I'm going to shut.
Oh my god!
I'm just clarifying your answer.
I want to finish my discussion and then you can.
Teddy Bear, I'm just clarifying your answer. I'm going to shut up. I promise you.
I don't want you to clarify. I want you to shut up so I can talk.
In 10 seconds.
Oh my god! You said I could talk.
So there's nothing that dictates everything, right?
Just let him see.
Wow, you know what
you're saying.
Oh my god.
Okay. Is it your position? That there is nothing singularly that dictates everything? Is that your position?
I suppose yes. Sure.
Okay, now give your monologue.
Go ahead. Then go ahead.
Okay. So I guess what my initial issue is that you think that me saying I don't know what is controlling this universe as me admitting to there being a god. There is a very fundamental difference to me saying there is a god and me saying that we don't have enough evidence or anything to support the idea that a god exists, right? Like I can say I don't know what is controlling this universe, and that doesn't mean I'm admitting to your side. Like you can see there's a difference, right? And I guess what I also want to say is that while I'm talking, is that when you say that like, oh, what is the one singular thing? I would disagree. Like there is not one person or one object that is controlling everything. I think that the universe is filled with things that are doing a lot of
how do you know that?
No, let me finish. Thank you.
How do you know that?
Okay, let me
time to speak.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. Yeah, so I guess what my point is that I don't think that you can assume or like beg the question, I guess, and assume that I think that something is causing a car crash and also simultaneously making my mom think of like buying flowers tomorrow. Like I don't think that there is one thing controlling all these different activities, right? I feel like that would be
has free will.
Now, are you asserting that there's nothing singular that controls everything? Are you asserting that?
I don't think there is any singular object.
Okay, good. So therefore, there's no identifiable rhyme or reason why anything's happening then.
I don't think there's when you say reason, you mean like a
Do you hear what No, there's nothing. Listen carefully. Your position is that there is nothing identifiable or defensible as to why anything happens.
Come on, man. She's not saying that, but
yeah,
she is. And stop trolling, Reagan.
No, she's not. Like you're being a fucking.
Before you came in, please do not interject.
Just commenting a little bit. I don't want to make that a big deal or anything. But I'm not saying that there is nothing that happens. I think a lot of things happen. But I think the creation of the universe was not something.
You're not understanding.
Like, okay.
Do you understand what I just said to you? Okay, listen. I'm not trying to talk down to you.
No, you're not understanding because you are trying to make an assumption about my argument, and I'm clarifying that argument.
I don't think you lack intelligence.
Okay.
You lack intelligence because of your inexperience. I think you're unwilling to listen. Who's a little bit older than you, knows more about these issues than you do. Either you assert that there is something that dictates why it happens, or you are not going to assert it. Okay. Now, it is if you refuse to assert what dictates happen, then you are what we call in a chance ultimate. Thing can happen, and if anything happened for any reason, then there cannot be eligibility in such a world. Understand that situation.
Have you ever heard the term obfuscation?
Okay.
I'm going to ask the mods to stop Reagan from heckling where he's trying to interfere.
Well, you're intentionally missing the point, bro. Like you're
Can we stop Reagan here?
Mute your mic, Reagan.
Darth, you were literally
Mute your mic, Reagan.
You were literally strawmanning. You were literally strawmanning.
Yeah, Teddy Bear, I appreciate your enthusiasm and your interest in the subject.
My point. Can I?
What you're talking about?
Yeah. Can I finish?
Yeah, you don't know what you're talking about.
Your autism with chlorella, you know.
Mute kids.
Yes, server mute kids, please. Thank you.
I just wanted to I guess make a point of saying that you would definitely strawman.
Can't make a point.
I never.
No, you can't make a point
nothing happens
because there's nothing that dictates. Listen to me. Okay, you didn't understand what I said. Can I correct you? May I correct you? You are mistaken. May I correct you?
It's my argument.
May I? Are you open to being corrected?
You cannot correct me my argument.
Are you being open to corrected?
Hey, Darth. Yeah. I noticed whenever you raise your voice real loud that the mic cuts out even more, and I think your internet is also an issue. So
okay. I'm trying to correct you. If you don't, and listen carefully to what I'm saying, if you don't assert that there's something controlling all this, that when you invoke instances as intelligible and meaningful, it can't be given your background information because there's nothing what it is. Now, I'll ask you again, when you invoke states of meaningful, is there something identifiable that dictates states?
Wait, say that again. You cut out when you said something is
when you invoke states of affairs, is there some viable fundamentally and ultimately that dictates why anything happens?
I don't think there is one thing that dictates everything that happens.
Then you lose your ability that when you assert that the dog wags its tail, such a statement becomes meaningless on a grand scale because there's nothing identifiable now it doesn't I'm trying to explain something to you from philosophy. It's something that I've done a little bit of studying about that you haven't. That you want to impose meaning on the dog wagging its tail. Your mind.
Yeah, I guess what I disagree with here is that
meaning.
Everything happens.
Wow! Oh my God! You know what? You are so precocious, or so arrogant. You are unwilling to learn from somebody who's 3 times your age. You're 16 years and you're a know-it-all.
Wait, your claim is that she's the arrogant one? Is that really what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and as a matter of fact, it is very arrogant for a young 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old to be disrespectful like that to somebody that's in their 50s and 60s because they do know something. As much as you guys want to come in here and flex your mental power and prowess and all that, people that's older than you knows more. Fact.
Now the point is this. I don't mind her vigorously disagreeing. I don't mind that at all. I don't mind it. Her whole response is it's just bickering, as I always say at the Capitol. This is the intellectual level that she and other unbelievers bring to the table, the bickering mentality. When I start to use precise concepts, do you affirm it or not affirm it? Because there are consequences and ramifications from it. Choosing to understand now. Let me ask you this question. If you outside of your house on the side of the road, you reject that whatever the rock is was dictated by God. Told me that. Now, what fundamentally makes what at an ultimate level? Is there something that dictates that? Because if there's not identify and defend as to what dictates the rock is, edible. Your human mind cannot impose meaning onto the rock. You say, well, what the rock means to me is that it's an idea in your head. The question is the meaning that's in your commensurate with what rock actually is? So is there a grand scale that is a devil that dictates what the rock is, Teddy Bear?
What the rock is?
Yeah, is there something on a foundational level, in terms of the totality of our worldview? Is there
what I think the rock is? I think the rock also goes by the name of Dwayne Johnson. I think that would be a fundamental.
Go back 2 sentences. Go back 2 sentences.
I think the rock is Dwayne Johnson. Is that
the rock is what?
No,
okay. So she's a troll. Okay, we're done. Okay, we're done.
That's funny as hell. I don't get it. Well, we can't be funny around here.
Yeah, for sure.
No,
anyways,
that's not the issue. No, we're trying to have a serious conversation.
To make a point that
she's been dodging and weaving the whole time.
If I could say this, there is a saying, and I hope that you younger people that is trolling realize this. The youth is wasted on the young, unfortunately.
The youth is wasted on the young.
Unfortunately, you're correct.
You know who said that?
No, they just want to act like complete assholes in these social networks.
You're gonna quote
no consequences to it.
Oh, the level of projection is so high right there.
Guy. Imagine they behave this way when they get out into the work. Can we mute these people from heckling?
Talk over people, please.
Yeah, stop talking over people. Let's go.
Yeah. So what they want to do is they want to act like complete assholes, but they're not going to do this in the real world, because when you're in the real world, you're going to get your head handed to you either by superiors, employers, law enforcement, or society.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll have my head handed to me. I'm 61 after all.
You know what?
You absolutely will. If you think that you're going to talk to your superiors the way you talk and like make jokes, here you're in the middle of a serious conversation, trying to learn something. Quiet. It is a serious conversation. You're going to say that it's a joke. If you think this conversation was a joke, then you yourself is a joke.
Can I am I allowed to talk? Will I be muted for it? I'm honestly, I'm not trying to get muted.
CO.
Yes.
What you will find, and by the way, I appreciate the moderation that you've been giving, but what we will find,
it's actually verticordius.
Yeah. So what you will find on Discord and Clubhouse, people will behave as badly as they can be. Not always. People will behave as badly as they can be to the degree that they're not moderated. Okay. And so there's proper and good moderation. Then, if I get out of line, that's right, I'm server muted. You know, when you get your first ticket, it's a wake-up call. Their ticket, then you're going to start to drive real carefully, okay? But you see, these assholes run amok on Discord because there's not sufficient proper moderation.
Sorry, you're cutting out.
Is the Iron Fist the Christian way? The tyranny?
Sometimes it is.
Is it though?
They started because
you should be able to handle anything, especially
you should be able to handle it too. You sound like a big boy.
Yeah, well, I mean,
you shouldn't be so easily hurt and offended.
I'm just saying, all I've heard is boomers flexing their authority and their limited willpower. You know,
and all I hear is a little millennial that's crying. Wah.
In the Bible,
really do if you're trying to get like legitimately
okay.
Teenagers on the internet.
They're supposed to be humble in your faith and welcoming and forgiving.
Capable of having a civil conversation. Let's just keep it at that. A civil conversation, fellas. Come on.
I mean, it does. It's just. It would not be.
Once again, it's the non-Christian telling the Christian how to live. That's not funny.
I am a
Psalms literally tell.
I think you should live a fulfilling life.
He's like 60 or something.
No, you can't, because I'm a non-Christian. You can't live a fulfilling life because I told you to.
Okay.
And whoever said that he's like 60 or something, that it's experience.
No, I'm saying like, is this how you should behave with a kid? Like,
I understand that everybody has different teaching methods. Just understand that he does have experience in what he says, and what he says is mostly true. I will back that.
okay, maybe.
eyes of
I'm
a
a
child.
believer as well. Listen. I'm a believer as well. So, okay, maybe there is some merit to what he is arguing, but you should be a little bit more charitable to someone who's a kid. Like, I mean, he's calling her names, right? And I mean, in actuality, he was the one who's being rude. I mean, as far as I've heard, right?
No, in
So-
actuality, she was very rude because he was having a serious conversation with her, something that her father should be having with her, but unfortunately, her father is neglecting her in what she
My
really
father
needs
doesn't
to know,
neglect
which is, yeah, your father neglected you, young lady.
He spends a
You
lot of
should,
time with me, and I love him.
he's not spending the right time with you because the right time you would
He
know
spends
Jesus
time
Christ is your
listening
Lord
to
and
me
Savior.
and letting me
But
have my own
instead,
thoughts.
what do? You hop into a chat room, joke around with Christians, and
Like,
think that what you're saying about your atheistic and Satanist views is all correct, and you come off with these stupid little jokes when you don't realize that your life, your salvation is at faith. And this is the point. I mean, if your father raised you right, you would know not to talk over people the way you do.
Okay, when I first joined the
I'm muting you.
you
You're getting
told me
muted.
I needed an arranged marriage and for a husband to shut me up. I don't think that means I have an
Yeah, you do. You need an arranged marriage, and you need a man to shut you up. Absolutely.
Can I say something?
Maybe you're
or am
just
I
a
gonna get
bitter
muted?
old boomer. Maybe that's the truth.
I
just
bet you wish that was the case. There's nothing bitter about me.
Well, doesn't seem that way.
I don't know, man. You're on the internet, like getting like genuinely heated over like some 16-year-old girl.
I'm not heated.
Yeah,
They sound like
When it's something more important than your faith, why wouldn't you be heated over it?
Well, you don't have to
it's your
be
faith.
like
it's not his consequence to pay, man. Like you can try to convert, but at the end of the day, it's not his consequence to pay for it.
you don't have to be like a
understand
Skyrim NPC with dialogue options either. You don't need to be like
what is Skyrim?
Like an NPC, like a video game character. You don't need to have dialogue options. Some people want to just.
How old are you, son?
Well, you're saying she's disingenuous, and I don't think she is.
How old are you, son?
I'm older than 16.
Come on,
I'm
man.
younger
You gotta
than
actually
You're playing
adjust the
video
argument.
games?
You got to adjust the argument, man. You can't just keep relying on people's age.
Go back to playing video games.
You got to actually adjust the argument, bro. Come on.
No, I don't have to adjust the argument. Nah.
6 years.
Well, you're not going to convert anyone, then I'll tell you that much.
Go back to playing video games.
Just like I said.
Building
Back
from
to
this
playing
conversation.
video games.
I can't wait for the new
And
Resident
jerking
Evil
off
4.
in your socks because that's what all you young kids do nowadays. There's nothing manly about you.
Seems
Yeah,
like
I
a
just
little
got done
girl got
jerking
you
off
all
in my
riled up.
socks, man. What are you gonna do about it?
I was
What
more man than you when I
things
was
are we
10 years
taking
old.
from this conversation, fellas?
Did you catch that, Tom Rabbit? Hope you upload that to YouTube.